Welcome back. This is episode 233 of the Veterinary Business video show. In this episode we'll learn why you should stop selling vanilla ice cream, and we'll hear how to improve the response rate to your clinical reminder system. We'll hear about the importance of team-based healthcare. We'll ask how hard is it for clients to work with your veterinary practice, and I'll offer you my quick business tip for this episode. I'm John Sheridan, and this is the video show from Veterinary Business. Just for a moment, can I ask you to imagine a town similar to yours, well served by a number of veterinary practices, maybe similar to yours, and all facing the challenges common to many practices: more competition, a shortage of vets and nurses, increasing costs, pressure on profits, and all the rest. Imagine too that the practices are of similar size with similar resources, but that practice A, maybe yours, appears to be much busier, more profitable and more successful than the others. Why is it happening? Why does practice A seem to stand out from all the other practices in the town? Here's a clip from Steve Van Remortel, who has something to say about the critical importance of differentiating your practice from all the others, and why specifically you should stop selling vanilla ice cream.
What is the most important question all businesses need to answer? It's a strategic question that the most profitable companies have already answered. In fact, answering this question typically is make or break for many companies. And that question is, why is a customer going to choose to do business with you versus your competition? As consumers, every day we make decisions to go to certain stores or restaurants because they provide something we can't get at the same level from someone else. And in many cases, we even pay more for it. That same fundamental applies to your business and to ice cream. You see, vanilla ice cream is the #1 selling ice cream, but over 90% of vanilla ice cream has something put on it, in it, or underneath it. Something is needed to differentiate the vanilla ice cream to meet the desires of the customer. We like to call it your mint chocolate chip ice cream. It's why a customer is going to choose you over your competition. Now, one of the ironies of life is that we plan for our vacations and weddings and our retirement, but only around 30% of us plan for the one thing that's going to fund all of that, and that's our business. And less than 10% of companies have defined why a customer is going to choose to do business with them versus someone else. Yet we do it as consumers every day. There are possibly 2 reasons you may not have a plan that creates a real differentiation for your company. Number 1 is you are stuck working in your business and not on it. And number 2 is you don't have a simple process to build a high-performance team to stop selling vanilla ice cream. The Stop Selling Vanilla Ice Cream process eliminates that obstacle for you, giving you a simple, step-by-step process to simultaneously optimize the 2 most powerful assets of your company, and that's your strategy and your talent. At SM Advisors, our positioning statement is those who plan profit. And this is the result of implementing the Stop Selling Vanilla Ice Cream process into your business. The more profitable your business is, the better life for you and your family and every person in your organization. I invite you to join the Stop Selling Vanilla Ice Cream movement by answering the most important question for your business, which is, why is someone going to choose to do business with you versus someone else? It's time to stop selling vanilla ice cream.
Now let's see who's on the video show soapbox. I believe that one of the most important responsibilities for every member of your practice team is to win and to retain clients for the practice. Some practices are very successful in generating a steady flow of new clients to replace those who are lost by natural wastage and to grow their active client database. But maybe they're not so good at retaining them long term. Here's a suggestion. Print out a report from your practice management software to identify all those new clients registered by your practice during this month 3 years ago. Now search to find out how many of them are still active clients 3 years later. If the numbers have dropped off significantly, part of the reason may be a poor response to your clinical health check, vaccination and other reminder systems. Here's a clip from Diedrich Gelderman, who offers some advice.
One of the underachievers that I see in so many veterinary practices is recall rates. That's recall rates for vaccination, annual health check, heartworm injection, whatever it happens to be, just recall rates in general. Typically in most practices it's around 40 or 50%. So out of every 100 pets that are due for annual health check / vaccination, only about 40 to 50 show up 12 months later. It's very easy to achieve a 75% or easily enough an 80% recall rate. That is just hugely beneficial for the patient and for the client, obviously, and it's hugely profitable for the practice. Find it. Well, in the recent 3, 4, 5 months, a new tip or trick has become available that makes this whole process so much more simple and easy for you. And that's the tip, or the trick is online booking. So my suggestion to you is that you get your software provider to provide you with an online booking system. Many softwares will do it themselves, or you can go to a third party. So the idea is that your SMS, I've given you the scripting, in that SMS have your online booking link. You will send a very brief SMS out and say, use this link now, and your client can book off that SMS, go and book their own appointment. It saves your nurse's time, it makes it a lot easier for the client. And then in your email, your next email, the one that comes out after the SMS, you use that link again and people can book directly from that link. You'll find your recall rates from your SMS and your email will go up quite substantially, which means there are less letters to send and less phone calls to make.
Now for a tip from the top in the business world of veterinary practice. Why is it, do you think, that so many of us use our laptops, tablets or mobiles all the time to arrange holidays, book tickets for events, buy stuff online, check spellings, ask questions and so on? It's because it's quick, it's easy, and we can do it more or less wherever we are now. So suppose you're one of your own veterinary clients, concerned in some way about your pet or other animal. How easy would it be to get the help you're looking for now from your practice? That's the question that Brian Conrad asked his practice team. Here's what he had to say.
You said you were focused for quite a few years on wowing clients, on providing just stellar customer service. And you said in the past few years you thought maybe the clients were changing a little bit, and you decided to go in a different direction with client communication, what you were offering to clients. What was that big change that you made?
Sure. And for years I've preached, even here at CDC, I've given all these examples of how we do these wow things, from beverages in the lobby. And don't get me wrong, we still do it. We still have that magical chocolate chip cookie. But we've really taken our focus on some of those little extra things, and we've really focused in on client effort. In other words, how much effort are they having to put forth for all the different services and the products that we sell or provide for their pets. I'll give you an example. I mean, let's say you're on a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory and you're needing a refill. And so, traditionally you'd call that in, and then you're kind of waiting for a doctor to authorize it, and the client's waiting for it to be filled and waiting to see if they need blood work. I mean, there's 3 or 4 or 5 steps that need to happen. Imagine, so they're going to have, quite a bit of effort, and then if we don't get back to them, they're having to make another phone call to see if that's ready, and then they're having to drive in. So, just in that one small scenario, they're having to do 4 or 5 different things and kind of waiting to hear from us. Imagine if we had a recall system in our management system, to where they'd be able to, 30 days, 15 days before that they need that medication, we're actually calling them and saying, hey, Mrs. Jones, I know Fido's only got about 15 more days left of that medication. Do you want us to have the next supply ready for you? And then giving them a text or giving them an email and saying, we filled it, whenever you're ready to pick it up, it's sitting here. So you can kind of see just in that small example the difference of effort that they're having to do. And so what we've done is we've kind of listed out all the different reasons clients call us or clients come into our hospital, and we've isolated different instances of where we can cut out the effort that they're having to put forth. The Harvard Business Review did several studies back in 2010 of this, And what it indicated was the client loyalty dramatically increases the lower the effort is. And it's not good enough for us just to say, okay, we did it. We made it, we made less effort on the client. We're actually surveying these clients on a daily basis, and we're asking what we call a client effort score, a CES. And we're asking for, on a scale of 1 to 5, how much effort did it take for you to deal with us today? And 1 would be little to no effort, and 5 meaning I really had to do a lot of work to make this happen. And it's interesting that, even as good as I feel like we are at Meadow Hills, you're always hearing me talk about my failures. I love to concentrate on those. We're finding that, 15 to 20% of us are getting rated a 3 to 5, which means the client's having to do more effort than they need to be. So we're immediately, within 24 to 48 hours, we're on the phone with them and we're finding out, what is it we did? What is it we didn't do, actually? That we made you do more work. And so it's always fascinating for us to hear that. And then, of course, we immediately go back to our team and say, okay, it's time to make a little modification here. So what we found over the last 18 months, since we've really been focusing in on this, we've seen the satisfaction of our clients and that loyalty starting to already build.
So what's my quick business tip? Well, it's this. Take another look at Brian Conrad's clip. Think about conducting some sort of client effort survey for your practice, and remember the conclusion reached by the Harvard Business Review that the less effort required by clients to work with your practice, the more loyal they will become. Well, that's about it for now. I'm John Sheridan, and this has been another video show from Veterinary Business. See you next time.